Animals by Walt Whitman. Poem number 7, Class 10 in the English subject, presented by VGR. Here you are able to see the picture of the poet Walt Whitman in his young age and in the old age. About the poet, Walt Whitman was born on May 31st, 1890 in West Hills on Long Island, New York, United States. He was an American poet, essayist, and journalist. A humanist, he was a part of the transition between transcendentalism and realism, incorporating both views in his works. Whitman is among the most influential poets in the American canon, often called the father of free verse. He was died at March 26, 1892, and his well-known poems are Leaves of Grass, Songs of Myself, O Captain and My Captain, etc. He got Golden Kite Award for picture book illustration. The poem Animals was taken from the poem of his collection, Song of Myself in Leaves of Grass. The animal poem is the 32nd poem out of 52 part of the collection of poetry. Here you can able to see the picture of the Song of Myself book as well as Leaves of Grass, where you can able to find the collection of poems. Among them, 32nd poem is the animals poem. In Song of Myself, Walt Whitman celebrates the self. The speaker of the poem speaks not just for himself, but for all mankind, praising the joy and wonder of experiencing nature. In this 52-part poem, Whitman celebrates the human body and its ability to become one with the self and with nature. Here is the first opening page of Leaves of Grass and the 32nd part of the poem in his collections. Introduction. Walt Whitman is a major figure in early American poetry. He broke the tradition of rhymed and metrical poetry. He was famous for writing a revolutionary new kind of poetry, which was in free verse. The poem Animals is from his work Song of Myself in Leaves of Grass. Walt Whitman has shown the comparison between the human beings and animals in his poem. He has pointed out the evils present inside the human brain, which he thinks animals don't have. That is why he thinks that animals are much better than human beings. In the poem Animals, the poet has described his will to become an animal because he thinks animals are far better than human beings. Human beings are greedy and full of jealousy against each other, but animals are calm and self-contained. The animals are happy with what they have. They never complain about miseries and sorrows. On the other hand, human beings complain about their miseries. They give more importance to the rich and strong people, stay restless because of their wrongdoings, and run behind the luxurious things of this world, whereas animals are honest about the relations and don't give importance to a particular class. They live a life which is full of honesty and less of greed and jealousy. Central idea or theme of this poem. In the poem Animals, the poet Walt Whitman praises animals for being better than human beings and for possessing all such qualities that humans lack or have forgotten. Those qualities are calmness, the lack of greed, and the ability to stay happy and contained among others. The poet wants to live among animals and experience a life where no one complains and where they are free of sins and sorrow. The most important theme of the poem is not to praise how good animals are, but to compare humans with them in order to highlight the flaws of their nature. The poet believes that probably a very long time ago, humans possessed all these qualities mentioned above, but they have now lost them. Now we are entering into the poem. First stanza. I think I could turn and live with animals. They are so placid and self-contained. I stand and look at them long and long. Placid means calm, peaceful, relaxed, quiet. Contained means keep up control. But here, self-contained means poised, in the right mind, in full of control of self. The literary devices used in the stanzas are assonance, the use of vowel sound I in the word think, I live with animals. In all these words, you can able to find the repetition of I, vowel sound. So assonance is used in the first line. Repetition of the word long in the third line. Alliteration is also used in the third line by using the letter L. The consonant sound L is a repeater. Look, L, long, L, long, L. L sound is repeated. The consonant sound is repeated. So you can find alliteration technique is also used in this third line. The poet created a pun here. The device pun is also used here. You can find he has used 2 times long here, which creates, for the first long, you can consider that as a long time. For the second long, you can have the meaning, his mind is longing to be one among them as animal. His mind is feeling, having the desire to become an animal instead of a human. So here, pun device is used. Then anaphora. In every line you can find the I letter is used in between 2 consecutive lines. So anaphora is also used in this stanza. In the first stanza, you can find out observing and analyzing the animals. Here the poet stands and observing the animals, and he is analyzing in his mind whether he wants to become a human being or an animal. So in the first stanza, you have the explanation like this. The poet here desires to turn into an animal and live with them as he is impressed by their calmness and the purity of their mind. Unlike humans, animals seem so content with their lives and are happy in their natural surroundings. The simple lives of animals help them maintain self-control and their rationality. He stands and looks at them for a long time. In the phrase long and long, the implied meaning is the longing that the poet feels for these 2 qualities in human beings. So in the picture you can able to see the author is standing and observing the animals for a long time, and in his mind he's thinking that he want to become an animal and want to be a one among the group of the animals. Second stanza. They do not sweat and whine about their condition. They do not lie awake in the dark and weep for their sins. They do not make me sick discussing their duty to God. In this stanza, sweat means here complaint, whine means cry and complain. So sweat and whine here represents to cry or to complain. Sins means wrongdoings or misdeeds. Yeah, immoral actions. You're able to see the picture. She is weeping about her sins. She sweat and doing wine, okay, and doing prayer. You can find some poetic devices in the stanza. Repetition or anaphora is used in this stanza. The user of the word like they do not is repeated 3 times here at the beginning of more consecutive lines. So repetition and anaphora is used in the stanza. Second one is alliteration, that is consonant sound, like in the words like make and me. M, M sound is repeated, and in the word discussing duty, D, D sound is repeating. So alliteration is also used in the third line. And you can say metaphor poetic device is also used in the stanza. Sweat and wine refer to the cries and complaints of human beings. So the writer here indirectly comparing the behavior of the animal with the behavior of the human being. Then another technique used in the stanza is tautology. Tautology means useless repetition. Here, sweat is also mean complaint. Whine also have the same meaning, complaint. That means cry and complain. Both the words have the same meaning, but the writer have used this both the words in the same line. So it is a useless repetition here. So the technique tautology is used in the first line of this stanza. So in the stanza, we come to know that you can able to identify the difference between animals and the human beings, attitudes and behavior. The poet is quite happy with the fact animals do not make complaints and cry about their conditions like humans. They eat and sleep peacefully as they have nothing to worry about. While humans, because of their wrong actions, are unable to do so and thus cannot sleep without worrying about them. Humans, even after committing sins, talk about God and rightness, while animals are simple creatures and they do not need to worry about praying to God. The poet here means that since animals are so pure, they do not pray to God for forgiveness or ask God to fulfill their desires like humans. So here the poet compares the behavior and attitudes of animals to a human being. Third stanza. Not one is dissatisfied, not one is demented with the mania of owning things. Not one kneels to another, nor to his kind that lived thousands of years ago. Not one is respectable or unhappy over the whole earth. Here, demented means mad or disturbed or affected with madness or behaving irrationally due to anger. Mania means madness or craze. Kneels means bends as a sign of respect or bow down. You're able to see a boy is in the kneeling position, bow down position. Respectable here means too happy and satisfied. So the poetic device or the literary device used in the stanzas are anaphora. The word not one is repeated 4 times to get the effect of animals' own behavior in the poem. Second, tautology is used in this poem. The use of a demented and the word mania have same meaning. Meaning means madness, which is used in the same line. It's a useless repetition here. So the technique tautology is used in the first line. Third technique, a third device is hyperbole, means it emphasizes or evokes strong feelings and creates strong impressions. You can call it as hyperbole or hyperbole. In the stanza, you can able to see of mania of owning things. Here, animal never keep anything in saving for themselves. In the second, not one is respectable or unhappy over the whole earth. In this line, you can find the discriminations in the human race is not equally treated, but in animal world all are treated equally. But in the human, everybody is not treated equally. Discrimination is there in the human race. So hyperbole is used in the last line. Then antithesis technique is also used in the last line. Antithesis means a thing that is the direct opposite of someone or something else. Here, respectable or unhappy is an opposite thing denoted by the poet. So, antithesis is used in this line. So, in the stanza, we come to know that there is a comparison of humans and animals' behavior and attitudes and habits. Animals do not possess material things like humans, and they are satisfied without all the worldly items. The desire of which has affected human beings very badly. This desire to own things makes greed, has been called madness by the poet. Animals are free from the habit of praying to their ancestors. When the poet says, not one is respectable, he means that since all of them are equal, there is no question of respect to some and insult to others. All these features of animals make them happy and uncomplaining. So you're able to see that all among the animals are treated equally when compared with the human beings. Human beings having discrimination among the race like blacks and whites, they are rich and poor like that. But in the animals you cannot able to discriminate them, and they don't have any complaints about their savings and their belongingness and their possessions, etc. Next stanza. So they show their relations to me and I accept them. They bring me tokens of myself. They evince them plainly in their possession. I wonder where they get those tokens. Did I pass that way huge times ago and negligently drop them? Here, evince means to show or reveal or indicate. Possessions mean the ownership of something. Tokens in the stanza, here the inner qualities or virtues, a simplicity. That means here the writer using a biblical allusion of Eden garden and the original qualities possessed by human like innocence, kindness, truthfulness, honesty, modesty, selflessness, contentment as their inner good qualities. Here tokens represents these qualities. Negligently means carelessly or in a careless manner. Here in the stanza, you are having the poetic device or literary device. The first device is the metaphor The inner quality of humans are referred as tokens in the stanza. Second technique is tautology. In this line, me and myself refer same meaning to the poet itself. They bring me the tokens of myself. So myself and me also, though both of them represents the poet. So there is a meaningless repetition here. So the technique tautology is used in this line. Third technique is alliteration. In the line, I wonder where the letter consonant sound w is repeated, and in the words like me and myself, m sound is repeated, and in the letters like plainly, position, p, p sound is repeated. So alliteration is used in the stanza, and repetition of they and them is used in this stanza. So repetition is also used as a poetic device by the poet in this stanza. Now the explanation of the above mentioned stanza. Human lost his original values, but not animals. In that stanza, the poet feels that animals represent human beings in some way. This means that animals seem to have what humans once had, that is, virtues like kindness, self-containment, and innocence. They symbolize the lost values of the human race. He believed that civilization has corrupted human beings, and instead of teaching values to them, it has taught them greed or jealous. He believes in this poem that humans dropped these virtues a long time ago and have forgotten them in their life. When compared with the animals, they have not dropped these virtues in their life as it is when they first appeared in the earth. They are remaining in the same values. They are following the same virtues till date, according to the poet. When we talk about the rhyme scheme of the poem has uniform personification. There is no rhyme in the stanza. So the poet has used the poem is in free verse. Now, here you have few questions to identify what you have understand from the poem. The question is, find adjectives from the poem which refer the positive and negative thinking. Positive, placid, self-contained, respectable. Negative, demented, unhappy, dissatisfied. Next question is state whether true or false. Animals are self-reliant. Answer is true. Animals quarrel for their possessions. False. Animals do not worship other animals. True. Humans have given up many good qualities. True. Animals suffer humiliation. False. The poet has retained all human virtues. False. Next question. With the help of the poem, find the differences between animals and human beings. Human beings always complain about their condition. Animals never complain about anything. Human beings are dependent. Animals are self-contained. Human beings discuss their duty to God. Animals do not discuss their duty to God. Human beings complain and they cry, sweat, and whine after doing the wrong things, but animals won't do anything like that. Next question. Find the good values or habits which you learn from this poem, Animals. The good values or habits are like this. They are pleasant and self-contained. They do not sweat and whine about their condition. They do not lie awake in the dark and weep for their sins. They do not discuss their duty to God. They do not dissatisfied. They demented with the mania of owning things. They do not kneel in front of or to another animal like human being. They treat equally everyone. So life of an animal is better than that of human being. So these are the good values we are learning from the animals from the poem Animals. Thank you. I hope you understand this poem. If you like, please subscribe this video.